Welcome back on Dynamo. Today I want to propose you a new video about the What's Inside video series that it's about the White Dwarf of April 2018 released by the Games Workshop. Here we can see the cover itself of the White Dwarf and we can see a really nice imaging with the Armored Knights. They are the new miniatures about the Adeptus Mechanicus. And here we can see also some uses that are about inside. So now we can start to see what is inside this White Dwarf. We can open it and we can find the theme that it's about the White Dwarf itself and the introduction about the White Dwarf with the imaging about the new codex of Necron, or better, the releasing of the codex about Necron, that you can find the review about this here, up here in the link, because I have yet done a preview about the unboxing of this codex itself, and soon I release also videos about the contents of the codex of the Necrons itself, so that we can have a detailed analysis about the codex Necrons itself. Then we can flip and you can see the contents of what is inside this White Dwarf itself, and there are quite a lot of interesting things inside. I liked a lot this White Dwarf. Here we can see this, that is the images about the content about the Forge Bin, that it's a box that it's really amazing because it's inside there are the Necrons and the Adeptus Mechanicus with the new Armiger Knights that are from the that you can find, for example, on the cover. And it's quite an interesting box because for the amount of money that it costs, the amount of miniatures that are inside are really interesting. So we can see, for example, a lot of images about. Here you can see the contents of the Forgeburn box itself with the special characters that are about the Necrons, and this Cryptek that also has the options that are inside the Necrons itself, codex, new one. And here we can see the Armiger Knights that are really amazing. They are really wonderful. A little smaller than the Imperial Knights, but they are really amazing as models. Sincerely, I'm quite tempted to buy the box to have these ones, because if I had to buy them, it's better to buy the Forgeburn box. And here we can see what is being released in this month. The Codex Necron that soon, as I said, I'll bring you, and the Codex Drukhari that I'll not buy, but anyway, if you want, has been released, and so now it's available for you to buy with the data cards of the two different Necrons and Drukhari codexes. And here we can see, for example, about Shakespeare's what has been new released, two different new squads that have been released. One coming from the Chaos, the Magos fans, and one from the Stormcast, and it's the First Riders. I don't know yet if they are no good or not, because I haven't yet seen the rules, but they are quite interesting as models, because the models themselves are really interesting, so they can be both. I think that for the price it's not so bad to buy them, sincerely. And then we can flip and we can see the releasing of the new Battle Tome for the Age of Sigmar one. It's the Idonet Tipkin, and it's quite interesting. It's based on the elves, so if you're interested in this race, I suggest you to buy it, because there are a lot of new BG about this, and it's quite interesting as race. And here we can see flipping the new models about the Custodes that you can find, and here instead about the Middle Earth you can find new models about the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings as models. Here we can see some spot about the Warhammer Live on Twitch. We can flip and we can find something about the games that are for the PC and so on, so you can find a lot of information about them here. We can flip, we can find this, that it's an article about the Free Blade, and if you are interested to work for the Games Workshop, you have the announcement of how to do or how to try in the way that you can. Here you can see about the Black Library, the new books that are going to be released, and there are quite a lot of interesting things. Then we can flip and we can find what it's about the parts for the forge bench. So we had the Dectus Mechanicus on one side and the Necrons in the other side. Then we can flip and we can find the review about the mail to the White Dwarf itself. So you can find a lot of things about. Then we can flip and we can find the temporal distortion part. Then we can, and this is interesting because there is also the talking about the new t-shirts for White Dwarf. Then we can flip and we can see something that it's the talking about the Stormcast Eternals. So some of the points to buy for having an army about the Stormcast Eternals. Then we can flip and we can see the parts about the concepts behind the Idonets Tipkin. So we can find the miniatures, some images that are quite nice, some parts of backgrounds, and so on. They are quite interesting. Moreover, these designs are really interesting. Then we can flip again. We see about the Black Library. Since I don't like this repetition because it's the same that we've seen some pages before, so I don't find it's a good as a repetition, but anyway there is, so skip it if you want. And here we can see the battle report about using the models about Forgeman with a bit of adding, because otherwise there are a bit few as points. But anyway, it's a really interesting battle report that goes using the Adeptus Mechanicus against the Necros ones. What I don't like is that they are going to use the power levels points, and I don't like the use of them, but okay, it's done so now for the Warhammer 40k. But since I don't like the use of the power levels points, here we can flip, and here we can see the Hall of Fame with the analysis of some models that are favorite from some of the classes that are talking about them. And here we can find also something really interesting. For example, this squad that it's about the snipers, in this case the Ratlings. It's quite interesting because they are not so often seen now, so it's good to remember them. Then we can flip, we can find some spot about the Warhammer stores. And here the parts about the tales of 4 warlords and how they are going to continue their collecting. So we can find a lot of things. This army is going quite interesting, and I really like the Magotin of Nargol army, because I really like Nargol as a demoniac army. Here we can see about the Legions of Nagash. There are quite a lot of things added, and it's quite interesting. Here we can see about the Blessed Grove Riders, and here we can find about the Middle Earth collecting. So we can find something about some scenarios and so on that can be used for having a representation of what it's about this type of game. So there are quite a lot of interesting things, as you can see. And then we can find, for example, this that it's collecting about the Imperial Knights. So it's a quite interesting one, with some models and some explanation how to choose and how owner has done these things. So it has done its own house, but it's a really interesting one. Then we can find an article that I find this really interesting, that it's about the battleground and how to create scenarios. This, I think, that are one of the most interesting articles that are inside this White Dwarf, because I think that are quite interesting to see how to proceed, or how to have suggestion, or how to create your own table, your own scenarios. So I think that it's really interesting one, this article. As you can see the different phases and the results that you can have. So you can have a lot of suggestions how to realize them. So I think that it's really amazing as a thing. You can see there are really a lot of interesting ways that you can realize things. I think that it's amazing as a realization. Here we can see a bit of Tactica Imperialis about the gaming, in this case about using the Drukhari styles. because they are going to exit the codex this month, so they are done this, and they give you some suggestions about to play, so that now, as I said, they give you, for example, the type of units that you can buy for the Ducalis themselves. Here we can see something about a Shadespire tournament, so you can see some different things that are going to happen or happened. And there are a lot of interesting analysis of models and so on, of the squads, so it's quite interesting, and also present a lot of different type of painting, so it's nice also to see different variations from the usual ones. I think that it's quite interesting. And here you can see what you are able to have about Shadespire, so the different sheets, the different dice, the different box set expansion ones, exities. So there are a lot of different things that are quite interesting to see. And here we can see about painting, something that are done from the nice painters, so you can see these ones, and there are a lot of interesting different type of models, so you can see different options for the same models to have different colors. And here new rules about the Middle Earth, so you can see there are a lot of things with new scenarios, so it's quite interesting for the ones that play Middle Earth. And here we can see again something again about the Middle Earth, again other scenarios. There are a lot of things about Middle Earth in this White Dwarf. And here new rules about Necromunda with the Chaos Cult gangs, so it's quite an interesting thing. So a lot or adding are done in the White Dwarfs about the gangs for playing Necromunda, so take note about these rules and start to think if it's even only for these ones useful to buy these White Dwarfs themselves, because they are quite interesting. As you can see, there are a lot of rules about. And now there are the readers models, so you can see, for example, different ways to paint or different ideas that are done. So you can see a lot of options that you can use for your own army as a suggestion, or to see something that can be useful for you to create some modification or so on, or some scheme of colors that you can have. Use this as a suggestions more than a referring. Here you can see the sites that are available for the Games Workshop for the different things that you can be interested in the hobby itself. And here we can have some spot about the Warhammer World. I remember you that some of these are special ones, for example these of the Realm of Chaos new edition, or better a re-edition of the book itself, and find it really interesting. The problem is that some things can only be bought on the Warhammer World itself, and it's a bit of pity. Here something that it's going to be prepared in the White Dwarf itself bunker, and there are a lot of quite interesting things that are done. And then we can close here seeing the army about rookies that you can have as the releasing. I remember that it's been released this month, also this army together to the Necron ones. And what I want to say about this White Dwarf, I think that it's quite interesting. For the ones that play Middle Earth, I think there are a lot of things to buy. About Necromunda too. If you're interested in knowing something about the Deepkin, it's here. So there are a lot of things, the Forgeman and so on. I think that this White Dwarf it's really interesting for different type of readers that you can be. So I suggest you to buy. Anyway, it's up to you decide if it worth your money, surely. Anyway, I think that it's a really interesting one. So, from Dynamods it's everything. I hope that you liked the video, and I invite you to put a like on this video. So, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and to ring the bell to receive the notifications about the new releases about the channel itself. And invite you to comment under here if you are interested to say me what you think about this White Dwarf, or you want to ask me about videos that I can realize and so on. So, from Dynamods it's everything, to the next time!